Hey, welcome. Happy Friday. So glad you decided to join us for a drink or six. I got a great show for you tonight. My pal and designated driver, Aged Boomer, is here, as is our special guest, the very insightful and wise Stephanie Janiczek of Stephanie Janiczek, Smuggler's Cantina. Now remember, Boomer, Stephanie Janiczek is a lady, so we stand whenever she comes in the room. Yeah, maybe mute your mic when you do so we don't hear your joints creaking, okay? Anyway, top off your drinks, strap in, and here we go. Oh, we are off to an auspicious start tonight. We've been sitting here chit-chatting and didn't even realize we hadn't gone live because, that drink or six I'm already into. And Netter's like, I don't think you've gone live. And I looked and I'm like, oops. So let's try this again. So, Stephanie, what are you sipping on?
I am sipping on a Pinot Noir. It is it's basically what I would call a table wine. Mm-hmm. It is not bad. I've had worse. They were more expensive, so it's not bad. This is my drink of choice is wine of some kind. So, though there is some vodka in the cabinet.
That's fair. You're a wine drinker. I got my customary martini. Although if I had. I put out a video just before we went live. If I hadn't been working on that last minute, I would have probably gone with something different. I've got some mixers back there, Manhattan and Old Fashioned, but I went with the martini tonight, 3 olives, and I'm well into it. How about you, Boomer?
I have an Arizona fruit juice, fruit punch cocktail. And
that's why he's the designated driver. I don't know why I got lag going on here. Is
that me?
I see that.
No. It's just me. You guys are coming in great, and I'm just choppy. But
you are.
Who cares? Nobody wants to look at my face anyway.
Are you on the wrong internet?
I have no idea. But anyway, I thank y'all for coming out tonight. So who do we have in the chat tonight? Of course, we got we have Netter of Netter's Network, of course. She is number one in my life. She's number one in the chat, and I love her to death. And we have Casey Scott, and that's it. But that's fine because you might be watching this in the future as a rerun. So, whatever.
Well, there are several bigger channels going on right now too. So,
well, no, I know that Friday is the big night, right?
Yep.
So I just do. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And that's fine.
We do this really just to get some content out there. I mean, we have some of our most loyal followers come in within the next 24 to 48 hours and watch in retrospect, and that's fine. If you want to chat with us during the stream, that's great. But if not, leave a comment. That helps the algorithms too, from what I've been told. Anyway, topic tonight, did this whole really nifty thumbnail about the war for Hollywood. And Stephanie, you've been talking about this a lot this week. There are some elements out there in the YouTubeosphere who have been arguing back and forth there is or there is not a civil war at Disney for Lucasfilm. My personal take is that's ridiculous. There is always some sort of civil war going on at every studio. It's just who's involved on which side. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. you know, I mean, there were two. We had the rumor person
Yes.
tonight on one. And then we
Feel
had
free to name names if you wish. On my channel, I don't care.
Mike Sutton was on Pop Culture Minefield tonight.
Sure.
And then we had Nerdrotic going, Kathleen Kennedy's coming back. Rah! Because Mike Sutton, who is, you know, you can't touch him. It is like if the Pope says something from the chair of St. Peter, it is infallible. You can't argue with him. I'm like, he posted a rumor. If I said that and didn't say it was a rumor, you would crucify me. You would crucify Doomcock. Okay, why is it he? Why does he and why does Matt Kadish get away with that? All right, why do they get to say whatever they want? And everyone's like, oh, like the Ewoks in front of C-3PO. This is my thing. Someone should have said tonight, if I ever had Mike Sutton in the next 4 weeks in front of me, I would have said, here are these 5 now legit, not you, legit news sources hinting that there's a change coming at Lucasfilm. Why did you not vet what you just heard against that, especially the Atlantic article?
I've been looking at this, and you know, I have to give major props to people like Doomcock and the folks at Midnight's Edge, because they are very clear about what they're saying. They're what I call intellectually honest. They say, it's a rumor because I cannot confirm this. Why can't they confirm this? Because they don't work in the industry, right? They're just repeating what they've heard. They can evaluate those sources and say, yeah, this source has been, you know, 100% in the past or 50% in the past, or I don't know this source. But you got to take it as rumor if you can't corroborate it. And Doomy is a great one for, you know, well, I've actually got 3 sources that have said this, or I've had multiple sources that have confirmed this, or whatever the case is. I always say everything I report on is, I always cite my sources. I always say this YouTuber or that YouTuber. I am not claiming anything is original because I have 0 sources, right? I am basically saying I have no idea, just reporting the news, so to speak. I expect everyone that listens to me to be intellectually honest and try to verify and do the best you can. Assume everything is rumor, but I use what is that, the analogy that Plato put out, the idea of being in a cave and not being able to see what's outside the cave, but you're figuring out what's outside the cave based on the shadows on the wall, you know? And if you're intelligent, you can make educated guesses about what's going on. You see the signs and you go, yeah, I kind of figure out what's going on over there. And everything that Doomy has been reporting kind of matches up with what we're actually seeing, you know?
It does. And the thing about it is, here's my problem. You got people saying, well, and they're repeating stuff from like 5 years ago about Hollywood and the way it was. And I'm looking at people, and I'm looking at this, and it's like, that's because someone who left Hollywood, Matt Kadish, in 2012, still thinks Hollywood is run that way.
Right.
I can't look at Washington, D.C., having left literally on the 27th of December, 2003, and say, I can tell you exactly what's going on. I can't.
Right.
Why? Because all my contacts are not there anymore.
In a way, you're kind of out of touch with what's current.
Yeah. And companies change. Corporations change. They're human. Human beings, you know, you've got this person leaving and this person leaving and this person leaving. Other people show up. Do you think, honestly, it stays that way? You can't be serious.
No, yeah, no,
I mean,
I get what you're saying. Let me real quick say hi to Melissa Harris and Sons. Thanks for being here. So I super appreciate you. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And I mean, let's get right down to it. We have been talking for the past, well, I mean, me and Boomer for about the past year or so. Correct me if I'm wrong, Boomer. I may have temporal depth perception problems here.
Well, what do you mean by year? We've been doing our Sunday show for about a year now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So for about a year, we've been talking about this whole SJW takeover of Hollywood has been it's been in the forefront. I think everyone's aware of it, and I personally have been predicting. I said these things are going to turn around because financially they can't sustain themselves, right? I mean, and I said it won't be quick, it won't be immediate. Hollywood is like a ship with a large ship with a tiny pin, like the Titanic. It's not easy to turn to avoid the iceberg. So you got to, it's going to take a while. Hollywood has taken a while, but it is starting to turn. And who's going to be the first one that makes that turn? The big one, Disney, right? Yeah. And I see it happening at Disney. And if you want to get real focused on it, look at Lucasfilm. Look at Favreau, Filoni, their side, and the Kathleen Kennedy stuff, right? Am I right?
Yeah. Yeah. You all I know is I sent all right, you know the story. Mm-hmm. I went on, all right, I'll tell you the story. Yes. We're going down the road from Chambersburg, and I'm looking at, I think Doomcock had posted a Sunday thing. It was a while back. And I have my earplugs with me, so my husband, who's like, I don't care about that shit, whatever. And we're going down, and I'm listening, I'm looking out the window, and I suddenly felt like General Patton. I want to kick the hornet's nest. I want to find out what the fuck is going on.
I know.
Because I'm sick of this shit. So
it's frustrating, isn't it?
I went on live. Yeah, I went online. I went live, and I said I said, we need someone to ask to confront Pablo Hidalgo about what exactly is going on with him. Because
is he even involved with Lucasfilm anymore?
I'm going to explain this to you. Mm-hmm. I put this out there because everyone's been doubting. I mean, everyone. So a friend who's from another country that I named James Bond, the Sean Connery type.
Cool.
Yeah.
Basically, and this is a tweet. You saw the tweet. I used it as a cover. He said, basically, with Kathleen Kennedy leaving soon, are you going to be leaving with her or before her? And I'm paraphrasing what he said. Yeah. Maybe if you leave before her, it should be for the best. May the force be with you. Pablo, and this really freaked me out because he could have gone off on him, lost his shit. He could have ignored him. The last thing I thought he would do, he did this. After 20 years, I have no plans and I don't know what hers are. All right. Wow. Then we got Mikey. We've got Mikey Sutton saying, she's still going to be there. She's going to leave when she wants to. And I'm like, fuck.
Well,
he just admitted she's
gone. I feel like when I hear these people say that stuff, I wonder if they're not in the same situation I am, where you have been so desperate for her to frickin' leave, right? But you keep getting kicked in the teeth time and time again. It's like, you hope for the best, but you're pretty much expecting the worst.
Yeah, I think there is something to that. Mm-hmm. But I also look at it as there are big channels who thrive on fanboy rage porn. All right. And
you're right on that for sure.
I use a Wile E. Coyote analogy.
Yes, explain that analogy to my listeners.
All right. Okay. If you go onto YouTube, Seth MacFarlane did a thing where
Right.
if the coyote actually caught the roadrunner, what would happen?
Yep.
And it ends up being he catches the roadrunner, he eats him, and then he's like, oh my God, I have nothing to live for. There's nothing here. And he goes into this horrible depression to the point where he's going to commit suicide. And then MacFarlane had to make an anti-Christian statement at the end.
That's MacFarlane, yeah.
Which is whatever. But the thing about it is this. If she's gone, a lot of these channels won't have something to rage about. Now, there are Star Wars fans that hate Filoni, that hate Favreau because they're not, following the EU. They actually think the EU is
as far as they're concerned, the EU is perfect, and you need to follow it exactly, and
Yeah, and you know who I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about, but Boomer and I have some other people in mind too.
Right.
All right. Yeah, and also the one whose name starts with R.
Yep, I'm with you.
And it's like, you know what?
Remember, you can say whatever you want on my channel because you're isolated from your channel.
All right. Ryan Cannell, I don't know who he is. I've never talked to him. But if you parrot somebody, and he parrots Jeremy all the time.
Yep.
If you don't offer anything different, new or amazing to the fan community, what are you doing?
Stephanie, if I can point out, you share something that I think is absolutely brilliant. There is this disconnect between people who actually care about these fandoms and want to get a message out, and people that are looking for clicks and followers and so forth. I believe that you and I and Boomer are people that really care about our. I would even say and Doomcock are people that care about these fandoms and care more about that than they do about clicks and whatever.
I would say that Andre and Tom care about that too.
Amen. You're right about that. I'm sorry. I should have mentioned them as well.
I've got to say, but I'm going to tell you a story. There's a story out there, Jeremy, Geeks and Gamers, and I shouldn't be doing this because this is going to come back to haunt me.
No. It's my channel. You can get away with this. You can separate yourself from it because it's my channel.
He walked out of The Last Jedi and liked it. He said that. I liked it. Then he saw what people were saying about it. And then he said, I can't make money.
Oh, he was the one you were talking about. I didn't realize that. Okay.
Yeah. So, if you want to ask about phonies, ta-da!
Yes. I'm sorry. That's why I don't follow him anymore. I used to, but
I
me too.
I dumped on. I let Pop Culture Minefield go, and I'm done with Nerdrotic. I'm done.
Yep, Nerdrotic, Ryan Cannell. What was
Jay?
What's that girl's name? Meg.
Mecha-Random?
Mecha.
Or no?
Mecha-Random. Forget her, but no, Meg.
Star Wars Meg.
Star Wars Meg. Thank you. I used to follow her. I had some shit from her followers, and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Screw this shit.
She and I got into it over the ST because I think she's one of those people that really believes that they're all fans of Star Wars. And my belief, and I'm right here, you can't convince me I'm not. If you like the sequel trilogy, you're not a fan of Star Wars because you don't understand it.
You mentioned today something about her. She was like Mrs. Mike Zero or something like that. I mean,
she is.
You are so right. I mean, I can't follow her anymore. I just can't.
It's look, you know what? Here's the deal.
This is what happens when I have this much to drink. I start shitting on other YouTubers, but well.
I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that because it's not the right thing. But God damn it, if you gotta
be intellectually honest, right, Stephanie?
Yeah, and you do. All right, I'm intellectually honest. I walked out of TFA in silence I thought my guts ripped out. Because you know why.
Yes.
No one talking. Because at the end of a Star Wars movie, especially the first part of the trilogy, no one should be cheering and laughing. All right. And it took me a year after listening to Jeff Hicks at World Class Bullshitters, and he was right about this. The Force Awakens sucked. The Force Awakens is a piece of shit movie.
Stephanie, I will say this, though, about The Force Awakens. I felt like I didn't know what I felt about it. I was waiting until the sequel. And the sequel retroactively fucked it, in my opinion.
Well, it took me, it was about what? About the midpoint between that movie and TLJ coming out. For me going, if Ryan Johnson actually means that he's going to subvert expectations, he better be talking about subverting the Reylos that suddenly sprouted up like fucking weeds and all the rest of that.
Stephanie, real quick, can you do the disclaimer you always do at the beginning of your show? No Reylos, whatever.
All right, when I go into this, and I've started this since in various ways.
Yeah.
No Reylos. All right. No droids of bounty hunters. No Reylos. No Rey Nobodies. No Rey Palpatines. No Kyle Ron fans. No Disney sequel trilogy fans of any kind. If you like Rogue One, great. If you're a Mandalorian fan, great, because you're a real Star Wars fan. But if you show up and start
guys. What I'm basically getting at here is, if you listen to what she said, please subscribe to Stephanie Janiczek's Smuggler's Cantina.
Thank you.
She knows what she's talking about. Okay, that's why I have her on my channel.
I had a question I posed to Troy the other week, because you often say, be sure to tip the Wookiee bartenders 20%. And I'm like,
yes.
if it's lunchtime, I think I can get away with 15%.
You're a cheap ass is what you are.
They only rip one arm off, okay?
You want to walk away with one arm.
I shouldn't insult the designated driver, right? Because I'm getting pretty lit.
Oh my goodness. Okay. What I do find interesting, though, is Midnight's Edge made some prediction that we were going to see all these anti-Chapek news articles coming out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we've been seeing those.
Yeah. And
Netter just gave me the look. I'm in trouble.
Hi, Netter. I give my husband the look all the time, but for other reasons. So, here's the thing. I've seen they're going to do a Finn spinoff. That's a thing. Now we've got Tandy Newton bitching that her character from Solo croaked. You've got Kevin Feige saying my movie is not a Solo sequel.
Kevin Feige has really outed himself. I mean, I did not realize. I thought I was with all of those fans that thought he was part of the success of the Marvel Universe thing. No, it's not him. It was Favreau.
It's Favreau, and I you know what? I'm going to say this, and Cameron will go, no, you're wrong, and I'm going, no. When I watched Jon Favreau talking about the Luke Skywalker moment in The Mandalorian,
yes,
and the way he talked about it, he is going to lead Lucasfilm. He is the boss. He now is. They're going to name him president of Lucasfilm. I'm not sure that he's not already. I am not either. Here's the deal. The reason why is because when I was 9 years old, walking on Star Wars for the first time, everything I wanted to be was the people who made that movie. I wanted to be Leia. I wanted to be in a movie with Harrison Ford. I wanted to make movies like that. I wanted to be with George Lucas. I wanted to,
Amen.
He felt the same way.
Boomer, do you realize Stephanie is right in our peer group?
Right.
You know, just to confirm that.
I figured, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was 9 years old. The movie had just come out nationally because they put it out a week before to see how it would do. And people were like, okay, let it just... And
Yup.
I'll never forget it. I'll never forget that. And I'm not, here's the deal. My problem with Mark Hamill, he looks like every boyfriend my sister Joan ever brought home when I was a little kid. And I'm like, oh my God, ew. But that was just me. But when I saw Harrison Ford, I was like, and maybe it was my dad's influence with watching Westerns and all that. That was,
right.
That was my, but God almighty, I was like, I want to be in a movie with him.
Yeah.
And of course I got sick, this happened and, whatever. But yeah, that movie changed the direction of everything I wanted to do in my life.
Steph, there was one thing I wanted to ask you, because I've been listening to your streams all week. What is your opinion right now of the Solo, whatever that film was with Eckhart?
Oh,
you have been very clear about that, but is that still continuity?
Well, from what Doomcock posted and said, they're putting it into the what if. And my
I must
theory,
have missed that.
Yeah, he added Solo to that, and I'm like, My thing is this: Tandy Newton is bitching about something. She wants a role. Andre and Tom are right about that. She wants a role in something. I think, because I know some things, I'm not going to say from where, there's going to be a lot of cameos in Andor, which is why I keep telling people, you may not want to watch it, but you may want to, because you're going to be shocked at who shows up. In fact, Nick from Echo Base was like, oh no, Han Solo won't be in that. It's like, he was involved in that shit in the EU, okay, before Leia. So don't you tell me that. Okay, we're going to see Han Solo. We're going to see Han Solo in Andor. They're going to retcon all that shit. And the reason why we've got all this crap with Queera is because it was written 2 years ago now.
Real quick, out. I'm sorry. Let me interrupt you, Stephanie. I want to say hi to Catman, Dee Dee Meyer. I super appreciate you being here. Wow, I'm drunk. But
okay.
Thank you so much for being here. I super appreciate you.
I've got water now, so.
I have water as well.
I know. Netter gave me a bottle of water, too, because exactly that.
Water is good.
Yeah, water is.
I'm sorry, did I miss Wolfie? Wolfie is in the chat, too.
Yes.
Wolfie, thank you so much
Wolfie.
for being here. You are awesome. I expect a little bit of forgiveness for Martini. Okay. I'm sorry. Go on, Stephanie.
So I honestly think we're going to see Solo in Andor, and because there was a certain actor, and I really can't say this. I really can't.
Don't censor yourself. By all means, on my channel, you can say whatever you want.
Whatever.
No, I can't. I really, really can't, because
okay, fair enough.
I would be murdered. There's a certain actor that has
Nobody's watching my channel.
You never know,
Well,
right?
no, you never know. But there's an actor that we know who he is, who is in England for the last from April to the end of July, maybe end of,
She's being pretty specific.
oh yeah, I know the dates because
Gotcha.
I follow him and I have friends in common, and he's been pretty. I can't, he was like, I can't really say what I'm doing. We're doing a MOPAC, and I'm like, bullshit. If you can't tell us what that MOPAC's about,
Right.
then it's Lucasfilm. So I expect to see Cassie and Andor needing help from a tall, lanky, dark-haired, green-eyed Corellian, and the Corellian sitting there going, "How much are you gonna pay me? What is this worth? What is this worth to me?" And people are gonna and Chewbacca's gonna be in it, and people are gonna shit their pants, and it's gonna be one of those moments, and it's gonna be there and done. Okay, it's gonna be like Luke, be there and done, and they're bringing the OT characters, the ones we love, back slowly, because they have to rehab everything that they did to them.
Stephanie, the one thing I did want, I was hoping
I might
to.
be wrong too, by the way.
The one thing I was hoping to address tonight, and I was hoping you would bring up. So we're seeing a lot of influx of the EU, and it's basically because of Favreau and Filoni.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's ridiculous to think otherwise.
Yeah.
I was hoping you would comment a little bit about that. I feel like we're getting the best of it, and they're kind of editing out the worst of it. What do you think about that?
I think that with the Book of Boba Fett, we have absolutely no idea what's going on. I mean, Star Wars Mag and even Star Wars Theory, whom I love, want to say what they want to say. They don't know what they're talking about because nothing concrete has come out of anything Favreau and Filoni have done.
Right.
That says a very happy crew. Okay. I think Book of Boba Fett is going to run parallel to the Thrawn trilogy. I think Ahsoka is going to run parallel to the Thrawn trilogy. I think Mando 3 is going to, and whatever else they come up with. I expect us to. In fact, I envision a scene at the end of Boba Fett where you see the Falcon land on Tatooine, and there's a thing going on, and they have to find a place to hide Leia, because now they know that there's somebody looking for her and the kids, not just Luke. Luke can take care of himself. Leia, in her condition, can't take care of herself as well as she could, and Boba Fett basically might be the guardian, because it makes sense, because he taught Jaina how to fight Jedis.
So there's two things happening here. First, Boba Fett. There's got to be a reckoning between Boba Fett and Han Solo, right? I
look at that and say, the way Fett is right now, I look at him and saying, our war was in the past. I mean no harm to you or your family. I can see him saying that. That would make sense. That would follow that character. I would think his idea of revenge would be at people like Jabba and the Hutts and all the rest of those. I mean, not necessarily. He would understand the fight going on trying to rescue Solo. It wouldn't exactly be about him. I'm not sure if I'm right, but I see him saying, because of the EU, our war was in the past.
Stephanie, is there I know you do some like fan fiction. Do you want to share about that a little bit so that people can follow it?
Yeah, I've got a fan fiction thing on WordPress, and I haven't worked on it in a while. I'm in the process of doing some stuff, and I've got to get back to it, and I will shortly. In fact, I came up with a funny short that I might just write up just
it's a
because
blog something.
it's a blog. It's at WordPress. It's called The Wayfarer. It's on. If you subscribe to my channel, you go to community. You'll see that I put links up to it there. I did one of a completely redoing Han Solo's origin story because it was just, oh God, and I thought it was pretty good.
I agree with you so much.
And a subscriber actually did artwork for it, and I thought it was pretty good. The next thing I did,
oh, that was some good stuff.
Yeah, it was. It really was. I mean, and the next thing was a story that takes place between A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back, where Han, after they get back from Lord Mantell, so Han and Leia are like rawr, at each other, and Mon Mothma basically says to Han, "I need you to go find somebody." So he's like, he gets Luke, he springs Luke free, and him and Chewie embark on this thing, and they're going all over the galaxy looking for this guy who is basically one of the linchpins to the Alliance intelligence network. And you've got Leia, and I made General Riken a big deal because I think if you look at it, Leia needs somebody who's connected to Alderaan and her father. And I look at him being that person. And I've got a scene set up where they're talking about this. And he's basically like, honey, you're not worried about, you're worried about Luke, but you're not worried about it as much as the other guy because I've seen you in very different moments. He saw her as a little baby, so he knows her. I've got that going on, but they end up on Coruscant, and there's a guy. It's not convoluted. It really isn't, but it's a lot of fun. And when I think about it, I should just write what I think about, but I don't do that. I have to sit down and do it. But if you want to see Luke thinking about his dad, if you want to see Luke, he basically has Leia do research to find out more about Anakin. And some other things, Luke being introduced to Nar Shaddaa and the rough and tumble life of a smuggler and walking into a place that has exotic dancers and never seeing anything like that. Because Luke is a kid. He's a kid. He and people don't.
He was
understand.
a kid in love with his sister.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah and no. When I do this, basically I've got General Riken looking at Leia saying, "He's a crash helmet.
Yeah.
He's your friend. He's a crash helmet. He's not the one you're interested in because he's seen her interacting with Solo in different circumstances. And there's a real, thing going on there where with Luke, it's
Stephanie,
like, you're a twit.
I gotta interrupt you for a second just to say goodbye to Melissa Harrison's sons.
All right.
Take care. If you can make it back, or if you can, come back and listen to the rewatch or whatever. Thanks so much for being here. Go ahead, Stephanie.
All right. So, there's a lot that's involved with those characters.
Yep.
And I really don't think that, I'm looking at what the frickin' story group posted, and you saw that video of all those over 100 Han Solo comic books. It's not
there
that
were
the people don't.
6 great novels too.
Yes, those comic books written by people chosen by Pablo and everybody. You got little tiny Carrie Fisher, who's this big, throwing a punch at Harrison Ford and knocking him on his ass in this thing. And I'm like going, oh, fuck's sake. First off, Leia would never resort to that. She could flatten him with a word or a look. And she did. That is the point of her. She doesn't have to do that. She doesn't have to resort to that. She never had to. That is blatant disrespect of her character and making Han look like, what the fuck? But that was it. When I look at that thing, that was the point. And that was the reason why that book never sold.
Yep.
All right. It is. So I look at that and go, oh, this is free. This is free range for me to tramp on everything. Not only work on fixing Han and Leia, but fixing Luke too.
Yep.
You know, when Luke says, because why do you want to be a Jedi, Yoda? Mostly because of my father. That is a key thing. He wants to know who Anakin was. That is huge for him. That is huge for him.
Don't you feel like the whole hiding who he was a real deterrent to Luke?
Well, if you're talking about the story group, yeah. If you're talking about George Lucas, if you go into the EU, they really didn't, and they did. I look at it as, if you're an orphan, you're raised by your uncle, you know what your father's name was, you know, an old man who suddenly appears to be like a guy who actually really knew your father.
Yep.
You're going to be more curious.
Yep.
You want to know who he was. And with the story group, fatherhood is diminished. Han Solo, drunk, deadbeat dad. You know, there you go. That is it. That is the only dad in the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, Ray and Finn have no parents, right?
Yeah, well, she had. Well, you see him a little bit in The Rise of Skywalker, and her dad is a clone of Palpatine. I didn't write that.
I know. I'm just it's. Oh, it's okay. So he didn't. He didn't procreate.
Funny because I feel like everything in the sequel trilogy is going to go away.
Yep. Yeah, when you walk into an Alley's, if you haven't ever been to an Alley's, hey, you know what? Our towels, they're from Alley's. Why?
Yep.
Because I can buy a lot of towels and not spend that much money. And I'm not cheap either, trust me.
Yep.
You walk into an Alley's and you see, an entire section of Rey from The Last Jedi.
Yep.
That is an indication. I just had one of my subs say, those Reys just showed up at his Alley's.
Yep.
That reminds me of when I was a kid. I would try looking for an Indiana Jones figure, and you could never find them because they were sold out everywhere. So I guess that's like an indication.
You know what? That may not be the best analogy because the Indiana Jones figures were not marketed very well.
Okay.
No, they weren't. Because I didn't have one, or I would have. I don't remember walking into a Kmart. God, did that take me back? And seeing Indiana Jones. I remember walking into Kmart in 1980 when I was 12 during Christmas and standing in front of the entire it was not only a section, it was an entire area of Star Wars, and standing in front of the Han Solo figures going, to my dad. And my dad going, I don't even know who that is. But I got the Millennium Falcon and Han and Leia and Chewie that year.
Oh, wow.
That was what I wanted. And there it was, the box sitting under the tree, and me going, I was the most popular kid in the neighborhood.
Because you had the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, damn right. Damn right.
Troy, I have a question for you. Has there ever been
Yes.
anything toy-wise as big as Star Wars? Can you think of anything?
I think Star Wars has really set the bar for toys.
Yeah, it did. It did. And interestingly enough, that video that you sent me about Junkie,
Oh yeah.
and I'm going to tell you this: he didn't show up on my channel without goading. And I'm going to say, and this is your channel, so I'm going to say it. He's part of the Matt Kadish crowd,
Yep.
and I know who sent him. And that guy, there was a thing a long time ago in 2018 that I will never forgive Griggs and him and the rest of those guys for. Because the person mostly that they were grilling and treating like shit was in the hospital, laying in bed, trying to have this debate that they called it with a brain tumor.
Yep.
All right. I was pissed beyond all recognition. And I'm the one that said Kennedy was leaving because I live in the logic world. She sucks, they make her go away. You know, Craig was saying, they can't find anybody to replace her. This is why she's probably going to stay. That was it. All right, and that's what happened. He was right. But God damn it, they treated him like shit.
Yep.
And I will never forgive them for that at all. All right, I will never. I don't care how you treat me. You treat my friends like that, that's it. And every time I see Kadish show up, marching around after trolling, James Mangold, blah, 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 I look at him and go, you couldn't walk across the street without having a heart attack. What are you talking about?
Stephanie, what is your current opinion of the whole Kathleen Kennedy situation?
This is my theory. And then, okay, I'm going to be here 10 more minutes, so I'm going to go.
Fair.
My theory is this. She's probably gone. They're not, and Doomcock was right. If they haven't renewed it now, they're not going to. I don't expect Bob Chapek to wake up in the morning and going, I think I'm going to renew her. He's not that person. There's a chance that it could get extended to as long as Indiana Jones 5, which is not wrapping until November now, is over. But that doesn't make any sense because she doesn't have to be president of Lucasfilm to finish that movie. She's a producer. The executive producer is Steven Spielberg. Okay, not her. So is she out? I look at the public stuff we know, Forbes, Variety, the Reddit leak. We've got the Business Insider, Bitch Fest. Mexican Iron Man came up with the Inc. article, and then we've got the Atlantic article. Script Doctor, I love him. But he was like, well, when they start saying that they're looking for somebody to replace her, they already said they replaced her. Look at the Atlantic article. You're not going to have them say it anywhere. But everybody that was on her side is leaving Disney. Everybody. Yep. Go look on Google. Alan Horn, Bob Iger, there's several other people, and it's like, and she's staying? What dope are you smoking? Because I want some too. Maybe I'll see those unicorns going across. Honest to God, if she stays, and I'm wrong, I'll admit it. I'll also go, what the fuck were they doing? What the fuck were they thinking? But nothing in the public discourse from that article 2 weeks after Gina was told she's not going to be resigned to the Atlantic article and the Inc. article that just came out not too long ago says anything different. But when Mike Sutton says, well, she's going to stay there till she wants to leave. And it's like, do you have any proof? I'm looking at this legit sources, and I'm looking at what you're saying. They don't jive. This is 180 from what they're saying. He's on the end of.
You lost her.
Whoops. I'm sorry.
Bring her back.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. He's on where we were in 2018.
Yep.
I mean, and that's the truth. I mean, Pablo Hidalgo's telling, it's on Twitter. I've got the screenshot. I shared it to Doomcock. I shared it to Tom and Andre and everybody. After 20 years, I have no plans, and I don't know what hers are. I mean, he might as well say, I'm being let go, and she's not coming back. I mean, that's what he said, and not so many words.
I kind of feel like these people won't be honest about where they are, right?
He won't until it's actual, like, in Variety or in one of the rags. He's not going to say anything. The fact that his wife quit following Lucasfilm, she still has it pinned up on her Twitter account, but she's not following Lucasfilm. It says a lot. She's been very owly about everything. At least the last time I looked. I haven't looked in a while. But, there's shit going down. There's shit has gone down, and I think the final straw should have been 2018. And the literal public freak out that he had with Abu Nas, but it didn't happen. Okay. The public, the last straw was pissing off and hurting Star Wars Theory, and that was it.
Oh yeah, I remember that happened.
And I think the reason why is because Star Wars Theory is connected in some, way to Dave Filoni. And Pablo was following Star Wars, or at least Lucasfilm and Marvel and Disney on his public account. Now he's not following them at all. Okay? There's another thing. You have to be an intelligence gatherer. You have to look at the conglomeration and preponderance of evidence and to say there's something definitely going on. Was he thrown under the bus? Maybe. Probably. And good for him. I hope it felt good. However, it also says she's not coming back.
Yep.
All right. Her role being diminished is it doesn't change anything. Her not being there changes everything. And it looks to me like everything has been changed. And that's my opinion. I feel way different than I did last year.
Yep.
Way different. And this stuff was started by Bob Iger in 2018.
Well,
these
don't
changes.
You feel like Bob Chapek with his we need to make a profit concept has had an impact?
I do. And it's going to be a while till we see it. The analogy of turning the ship away is a good one. It's like I had a Navy captain tell me that it takes 5 miles for an aircraft carrier to turn.
Yep.
So, that's a hard thing to think about. And there are going to be a lot of people, and I can name Stig Johansson, Alora on OG Star Wars, who won't like it even if it is good, because it's not the EU. Me, I just want to wake up in the morning thinking if I had a daughter, she has other role models besides me, and one of them is Leia.
Yep. The
way I knew who she was. But his son, and he has more role models than just his dad. and the historical figures that we talk about, and his grandfathers, Han and Luke. I mean, the fictional heroes are big. They're meaningful. This is why they destroyed them. They don't want white boys waking up in the morning and saying, I'm going to go out, get a stick, and pretend it's a lightsaber, and I'm going to defeat Darth Vader. Or find a stick that looks like a blaster and, go off with his dog and pretend they're Han and Chewie.
Doing that, yep.
Yeah, so, there's a reason why they went out and did it, and it failed. And I'm going to leave you guys with this. With the shit going on with China, it's going to force it. China is a forcing function, whether they like it or not. Yep. And it's going to change Hollywood and the film industry hardcore. They're going to have to come back to us and say, did you miss us? Or we're going to say, this will be me. What have you done for me lately, baby? All right. And that's how we should be. You don't burn bridges in a circumstance like this, but you demand they do the right thing. And they will never say they did the wrong thing, but they'll do the right thing just through their actions. And that's all you need.
Yep.
And hire the right people.
Yeah. I mean, I think George Lucas, as obsessed with Richard Nixon as he is, it's like, dude, he's not under your bed. Stop it. Honestly, Palpatine is Nixon. Palpatine is freaking, Cardinal Richelieu or some. What the are you? What? But having grown up in a family of old hippies, yeah, there you go. I mean, that's what they think about. He knew how to tell a story. Steven Spielberg knows how to tell a story. Yep. But you've also got to hire actors. You have to foster that community again.
Oh, yeah.
And American men that are real men, they don't want to go out. They don't want to do that anymore. So we've got pussies.
Yep.
Australian guys, and Anthony Ingruber was he was born in some South Sea island. He's, I would, if they were actually going to recast Han Solo, he would have been my choice. But now I think they're actually going to go to the deep fake thing, and I think it actually works. I'm sorry, but unless you do it right, and you can't do it right, and I don't like Sebastian Stan, what they did at the end of Mandalorian was perfect.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Anyway, I got to go because it's 11:01, and I'm pretty sure the man upstairs is going, where is she?
Okay.
And the dog is probably laying on his back in his kennel going, Mommy, rub my belly. So anyway.
Thank you so much for being here.
Have a good night.
Super appreciate it.
Yeah. You guys know Kojak. No,
Kojak's awesome. I like him. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, I'll see you guys later.
Good night.
Take care.
See
Bye-bye.
you around the galaxy.
See you around the galaxy.
See you around the galaxy.
Yep.
So I would request that everybody, by all means, subscribe to Stephanie Janiczek. She knows what she's talking about.
Troy.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Please.
What was your experience seeing The Last Jedi for the first time? Unless you don't want to talk about that on air.
Dude, I'm going to be very general. I did not care for any of the sequel trilogy. I really did. The first one was, let's wait and see what the second one does. The second one retroactively fucked the first one. That's all I'm going to say. That's where I'm at.
All right.
How about you?
Okay. Well, which movie?
Tell me.
Force Awakens had so much hype surrounding it, I couldn't do anything. And we went later to see that, like after it had been out for a few weeks, and the theater was still crowded. And, I had such a fog. When I caught on video, I thought, this isn't so bad. Okay. There's maybe there's a foundation here for more stuff. I do agree, though. really in retrospect what they did to Solo was wrong. Okay,
Yeah.
but I had expected him to die regardless. I figure they're going to kill off one of the main three, and you can't kill Leia, you can't kill Luke. It's going to be Han. Han's going to get killed. I knew this was going to happen. Okay, I just didn't expect it to happen in the way it did. If he had done died more like
wanted to be killed off, so whatever.
If he had died a more heroic death, like on that, what is it,
right.
that film theory channel where it's all like Chris Gore made a point about how it's right way to kill off a beloved character in a wrong way. But and then I saw The Last Jedi, and I wasn't really nonplussed because I come to the conclusion that the Disney Star Wars movies are basically just being made, to be crowd pleasers. They're not going to have the in-depth stuff the original trilogy had. And I had already seen Blade Runner 2049, and I'm like, I've already seen like one of the best sequels I've ever seen, and I'm going into Last Jedi. I didn't expect Last Jedi to be as bad as it was. I had some warnings, like I have people either telling me it's brilliant or people telling me it's horrible, and I don't know what to think. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe the director really, really did something brilliant here. Okay,
right.
And I went to see it, and it was awful. And one thing I noticed, too, is how uglied up the entire cast was in that, except for maybe Rey, Daisy Ridley. It's almost like they chose either not to use makeup or to use makeup that wasn't flattering, okay?
Right.
Everyone didn't look good in that. And it was... It was a whole mess. And then there was, of course, Rise of Skywalker, which... I know you have yet to see, and I'm not telling you to go watch it. In my opinion, I don't know. It could be a worse movie than Last Jedi. It really is terrible. It's an incoherent mess.
I honestly don't care about the sequel trilogy anymore because I honestly
it's a what if. It's going to be a what if at some point, right?
Yep.
But greetings, programs. Max World Entertainment's in the house.
Thank you so much for being here, Trey. I super appreciate you. We've just spent the past hour and a half or so just talking about, well, sum it up for us, Boomer.
We were talking about what the title of the video says. We were talking about the latest news, rumors, and lies surrounding Star Wars going on right now. Okay?
Stephanie Janiczek has been giving us some wisdom here, and
yeah.
We
learned about her fan fiction. That was pretty cool.
Yep.
Sometimes the fans are making the best stuff, right?
It's almost always the case at this point.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, me? Yeah, no, it's almost always the case.
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You didn't interrupt me. I'm telling you, you're a little tipsy, and I'm a little red-tidey tonight. I am not in good shape right now. I'm hoping it's not the other thing, but I don't think it is, because according to the symptoms, this sounds like red tide. We have bad red tide. Red tide is a horrible algae that kills fish, and it wreaks havoc on humans too.
You need to explain that.
Well, let me find out. Let me see if I can find a little description. And the problem is we haven't really had any rain for the last couple of days, because usually the rain knocks things out, at least in the air, right? But of course,
right.
Let's see. What is red tide? We'll go to red tide. Tides are a phenomenon of discoloration of sea surface. It is a common name for harmful algae blooms occurring along coastal regions, which result from large concentrations of aquatic microorganisms such as protozoans and unicellular algae. There you go.
In other words, it's your allergy.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm allergic to algae. There you go. But anyway, good seeing you here, Max World. Now, Troy, you had a video up about an action figure earlier. Is that correct?
Yeah. So just before we went live, I put up my video about the Gina Carano figures, both of them, the vintage figure and the retro figure, and I'd super appreciate it if you check it out. Wow. I'm messed up right now. It's a Friday, and I'm having so much fun.
Are you feeling all right, Troy?
I'm feeling great.
So I don't know. So what have you been watching lately for entertainment wise? Okay. Any shows you're watching with Netter, huh?
Actually, no. I've been kind of busy with work lately.
Work?
Yeah.
I want to go ahead.
Go ahead.
Do you like mystery shows, British mystery shows at all? Do you have a hankering for them at all? You're making a squinty face.
Please don't go Sherlock on me.
Not the BBC Sherlock. I'm thinking
go ahead.
Midsummer Murders. This is my latest passion, okay?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Enlighten.
It has been going on for at least 20 years, and it will not stop. These are 90-minute mysteries that all take place in a county in England known as Midsummer. And usually all the murders are around a theme. There's been a murder at a vineyard, okay? They did a murder at a comic book convention. And you see one of the suspects going nuts with a lightsaber, okay? It's kind of funny, okay? Anyway, I'm just saying if you're looking for a new Saturday night show, because nothing, of course, you do stuff on Saturday nights, so never mind. But remember how Doctor Who used to be the Saturday night show?
Yep.
And when Doctor Who
went on Sunday, but yeah.
Yeah, for me, it was the Saturday night show. That was replaced with Mystery Science Theater 3000 later on. That was the Saturday night show.
Stuff. So
now my new Saturday night show is Midsummer Murders, because they're 90 minutes. That's the trick. It has to be a 90-minute show, too, right?
Yep.
Doctor Who episodes, usually the serials, whole 4 parts ran 90 minutes, right?
Yep.
Okay. So did I tell you I had a Scotch egg a couple weeks ago?
That's a British thing, isn't it?
Yeah, Trooper FN 2525 posted one of those YouTube Shorts videos they have up now.
Tell me about it.
And it's like you take like Irish sausage or English sausage, and you take the ground stuff out of it. And you take all sorts of seasonings, and I don't know. This guy was cutting up all sorts of things. Okay, mixing it all up in a bowl. Then he would peel a boiled egg and then cover it, and then I think he either put it in the oven or fried it. I don't remember. Okay, and I think it was fried, and then you split it open, and you got a sausage-covered boiled egg that was fried. And you serve it with mustard, some kind of mustard. What do you think of that, huh? Delicious? You can get it at a pub.
I have a stomach full of alcohol, so I can't really comment.
You can't really comment. Okay.
Yep.
So let's see here. How's Nanette doing right now?
She's annoyed at me for having drunk so much.
Okay, but let's see. What was your favorite theater going experience?
Oh, that's a good question.
Does one pop in your head?
Great stories there. But I don't have any recent stories. How about you?
No. I remember Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, seeing that on the big screen. That was nice. Back to the Future. All those movies. What do you think? Do you think they're ever going to remake Back to the Future?
I hope not. I hope not. It's perfect as it is.
Perfect as it is, yes.
Netta and I saw all of the Marvel films at the drive-in. Unfortunately, our local drive-in closed up, so I don't know what to do with that.
Well, you're not going to be seeing Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings and the Legend of the 10 Rings.
I'm not seeing Shang-Chi at all.
The Eternals?
Is anyone even interested in the Eternals?
Lots of people are interested in the Eternals. It's a big comic book franchise. Come on. When I was growing up, I heard all my friends, they were always talking about how incredible the Eternals were.
Boomer,
no one ever talked about the Eternals growing up in the 90s. Yes, I know. No one ever talked about them growing up. Wolfton has a thing for you. Hold on.
Tell me.
Check out Ordinary Sausage, where he turns just about any food into sausage. What? You can't make any food into sausage.
Wolfie, what are you talking about?
How about my YouTube channel, I think? So let's see here, though. I'm trying to think what else we could talk about it tonight. Are you Bush, Troy?
I've had more to drink than I usually do on a Friday night. So
do you want to wrap it up, maybe? Do you want to wrap it up?
Probably should.
Yeah.
I probably should for the sake of propriety. I probably should.
All right.
Boomer, help us out. What's going on this weekend?
What's going on this weekend?
Yes.
I'm
focusing on Sunday night.
Oh, Sunday night is Geeky Geezers. Sunday night is Geeky Geezers. Okay. So we're gonna do talk about many interesting things, such as the recent Cowboy Bebop controversy, and I have discovered something about the controversy which no one else is talking about. So I suggest you tune in, or I'll try and clip it if you can't catch the live, so you can at least catch it on the rerun, because this is important, because people are avoiding an obvious fact about a certain favorite anime character. But we'll talk about that on Sunday.
Okay.
And I know that you and Birdman, you're going to be doing Air Force One rewatch on. You're thinking on Tuesday,
I believe.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to make it for that, I don't think, but you never know. I might be able to stop in, and I'll be doing it.
Looking forward to that. He reached out to me, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm all for that."
Yes, and let's see what else on Wednesday. On Wednesday, we're going to be doing a rewatch of the animated Transformers movie from the 80s, which I have never seen, so that should be interesting for me. I'll try to watch it ahead of time, though. Okay. And then I know this Saturday, what's the big movie? Is it Excalibur? Tomorrow night?
I forget if it's an Al weekend or a Netter weekend.
Gotcha.
I think Netter has coming up Anna versus the Apocalypse.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Oh, it's a lot of fun. And Al has an Excalibur weekend coming up. I don't remember which comes first.
And you know, I've been thinking a lot. Okay, you know how like we usually do the stream on Sunday, but it looks like this year.
Yeah.
Al
is this Saturday. Al is this Saturday.
So it's Excalibur. You get to see Helen Mirren and a lot of Helen Mirren.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Nice looking. Well, anyway, let's. What am I talking about here? But I noticed that my stream on this is actually going to fall on Halloween this year.
Oh, okay.
So, and I don't know if you have plans, something you normally do on Halloween, do you?
I don't, but...
Well, I was thinking that maybe we could do a rewatch of a horror movie of my choosing. What do you think?
I'm all for it. Go for it.
Okay. All right. So I'll be in touch with you about that title. We'll do it on my channel, though. Okay. And next week, I don't know we have planned for this. Do you think another Smallville rewatch or maybe something else? You'll see how the week takes you, I guess, right?
Yeah.
All right. Cool beads. All right. Well, we should say hi to everybody. Bye to everybody. Oh.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, man.
Okay. But we should call it a night. We had a good talk tonight, all right?
It was fun. Thank you so much for being here. I super appreciate it.
Good night.
Take care, everyone.
Take care.
And I actually have no idea how to close this stream.
You want to hit the end stream icon. There you go. I'm still live, dude. How's everybody doing? He'll edit this later on. Good night, Catman, a.k.a. D.D. Myers. Troy, you want to hit the end stream in the far right corner. I believe it's up top right of the page, okay? Just click end stream, big red button. I'm still live, dude. Should I get out of it? If I get out of it, will the stream end?